So this is what no one's telling you about the dropshipping business model and the long-term flaws that come with this business naturally. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys and tell you that the dropshipping business model isn't perfect, and there's 3 things that happen with most beginners that stop them from seeing long-term success and being able to go full-time with this business model. Now, I do want to say that I absolutely love the dropshipping business model, and I do believe it is the best business model, and it has changed my life personally. I've experienced the 3 main flaws from stopping beginners like you from seeing mass success. So for the last 2 years, when I start brand new Shopify dropshipping stores, I had these 3 simple steps before I launched them to make sure that I don't get into any of these long-term issues. And by doing that, I've been able to generate multiple 7 figures. And this year, I've done over $3 million with my dropshipping and e-commerce stores. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Most people are approaching the dropshipping business model the completely wrong way, and they're using an outdated strategy that just doesn't work anymore. And if you guys use this brand new strategy, then you're going to be ahead of most people that are doing dropshipping. So before we get into the video, let me just tell you what you can expect to learn from this video. So I'm going to be showing you the 3 main problems with dropshipping right now, and I'm going to be giving you examples for each one of those main problems, and then I'm going to be talking about how you can solve these problems in your own dropshipping store. And before I even do any of that, I'm actually going to be showing you the proof of my dropshipping stores and my e-commerce brands, so you know that you're learning from somebody that actually knows what they're doing. Now, if you guys appreciate this transparent content, then make sure you smash that like button, because that just lets me know that you appreciate the content that I make and all the time and effort that I put into these videos. So as mentioned in the intro, let me show you guys some proof that these strategies and these ways of approaching dropshipping actually work for the long term. So as you guys can see on my computer screen, this is a brand new store that we started literally last year, and you can see that we've achieved $651,000 with this store. And if we refresh the screen, you can see that the numbers are going to stay the exact same. And as you guys can see on the screen, it's currently refreshing and the numbers have stayed all the same. Now what I'm going to show you is another Shopify store analytics, but this is to show you that this helps work in the long term, and you're going to be able to consistently make money over the long term and not just in the short term. So as you guys can see on the screen, we've done over $1.4 million, and if I refresh the screen, you're going to see the numbers are going to stay the exact same again. So as you guys can see on the screen, we've refreshed and the numbers have stayed the same. And the reason why I wanted to show you that one in particular is to show you that this store has been running for years and the numbers still keep growing. Now, something that I want you guys to take into consideration and is extremely important is that this store has been running since 2018. And if I show you last month's revenue, which is the 1st to the 31st of October, you're going to see we're still doing really good numbers. You can see $58,000 we did last month. So this shows you that this method actually works for the long term and not just the short term. Now, with all of the proof out of the way, let's go over the 3 main fundamental flaws with the traditional way of doing the dropshipping business model that are stopping you guys from watching this from seeing long-term success. Now, the first fundamental flaw with the dropshipping business model is the customer's journey, meaning when they go to your website, when they place an order, what happens after they place an order. So the first issue is these major long shipping times. The second issue is customer support. As a dropshipper, customer support has never been the best thing. And the third issue is the quality of the product and the actual quality checks of the product. Now, I'm fully aware that a lot of you guys that are watching this might not truly understand the damages of the customer journey with the traditional way of doing a dropshipping business model. And that's why I'm going to be showing you 2 real examples of how this can kill your dropshipping store when you start to see real success and it stops you from making mass money. The first example, as you guys can see on the screen, is I'm on Trustpilot right now, and this Trustpilot is for a dropshipping store called Urban Shoes, and you can see based on 25 reviews, it's got a 2-star rating, which is really poor, as it shows here. Now, for those that don't understand what Trustpilot is a very credible known place that people leave reviews based on where they go to buy things. And you guys can see here, if we look at the reviews, you can see here it says one of the worst shoes I've ever bought, and the guy goes over the quality being terrible. This one goes, if I could give no stars, I would. They go over how the actual store was terrible, the address was missed. They go over how the company owes them €100 because of the postage that they paid. So they go over the 3 big flaws that I just went over with you guys. Number 1, the quality being terrible. Number 2, the shipping being out of your control and being relied on a dropshipping supplier, which can cause issues. And then the really expensive postage fees that can come into place. Now, if we take a look at the next review under that, it says extremely unsatisfied, and they go over how they barely had any responses. They waited 8 weeks for the shoes to come and they never did. And if we keep going down, it's the same issues with all of these reviews. Now, just to give you guys more context on this dropshipping store, you can see I'm on a website called flipper.com, and flipper.com is where you come to sell your store. And you can see here it's the same store, Urban Shoes. If we go to the website, it takes me to the same website, and you can see here it says $750,000 in sales with a Shopify dropshipping shoe brand, e-commerce specific niche, and they go over how much money they made. So you can see here their revenue for the past 12 months, and you can see that they've made lots of money. This is a multiple six-figure dropshipping store. And the reason why I'm showing you this is so you guys understand that this is a money-making dropshipping store. You can see the profit right there. They're making profit right now, but their customer service is terrible, and it's stopping them from launching a long-term brand because of all of these negative reviews. This is stopping them from seeing long-term success. And I want to make this very clear. I am just showing you data that anyone can find publicly online just to show you that these fundamental dropshipping flaws are real, and most people are still suffering from them because they are not moving to the new way of doing this business model. Now, I want to quickly show you their website as well to show you the products that they're selling. And you can see here, this is the top streetwear brand for 2021. It's a sneaker brand. It's called Urban Shoes. And you can see here, they're selling these AliExpress Yeezy lookalike alternatives. And everyone knows these shoes that have been in dropshipping for a while. And the website looks pretty good, to be fair to you. And to show you how bad this really is, I've gone to their Facebook page, and you can see that they've turned their reviews or their testimonials off, because normally it would say leave a testimonial and it would have stars here. Now, they've turned that off because you know why? Because they've got so many bad customer complaints that it will ruin their Facebook page if they have it turned on. So that was the first fundamental flaw of doing the dropshipping business model the traditional way. And I hope this has opened your eyes to how serious this is if you follow that traditional route, and how damaging it can be for your business long term. Now, let's move on to the second flaw. And the second flaw is dropshipping short life, meaning that you're going to get loads of people copying your product. You're going to get loads of people ripping your store off and making their own versions. If you've ever experienced this before, let me know in the comment section below and let me know how it made you feel. So basically, if you don't know how this works, you can literally have a dropshipping product that does really, really well, but somebody comes along, steals your products, makes your life harder because of the saturation and the competition, and them running ads, which means they take market share from you. And this causes problems with making long-term money, and this will stop you from making years and years worth of revenue. So what do you guys need to understand to stop this from happening? So if we go back to the computer screen, I'm going to show you something called the internet marketing tree. Now, I remember seeing this for the first time when I started my e-commerce journey, and not many people know this, so make sure you take a photo of this, and this is very, very important. Now, the way they've used this image is the roots are the most important part of the tree. Without the roots, then the branches won't grow, then the leaves won't grow, then the trunk won't grow. So the roots are the most important thing of your e-commerce journey. And then you've got the trunk, and then you've got the branches and the leaves. So let's break this down. So if you've got somebody trying to rip your product off, if you've got somebody that's a competitor, this is how you demolish them very fast. And this is what I currently do. So if we break the internet tree down, you've got here called research, which is situation, competition, audience. Then you've got strategy, attract, engage, convert, multiply. Then you've got branding, focus, clear, brand message, compelling. Then you've got content, relevant, benefit driven, and then organized. And then you've got the website, which is development, like rich media, scalable, web standards, validation. Then you've got design that says credible, usable, and flexible. And then you've got the branches like search engine marketing, directories and listings, email marketing, social media marketing, public relations, and online advertising. Now, I'm not going to break down each one of these. You guys can just give it a quick read. But how does this work if you've got competitors? So most people that you're competing with or tries to steal your product, they don't have the roots done. They miss out the content. They miss out the research. Now, if you're able to destroy your competitors by doing the research, by doing the strategy, by doing the brand, and by doing the content, and then doing all of these other things, then you won't have any problems. Now, most people that do drop shipping only focus on the online advertising. They literally build a website, they run a few ads, and they miss all of this out. They don't have a brand message. They don't even know who their their audiences, so they miss literally 80% of the internet marketing tree out. Now, if you use this strategy, this internet marketing tree strategy, to your best way, meaning that if your competitor's only using 10%, if you use 40%, you're going to beat them. Now, the truth is most dropshippers will not do all of this because they don't feel like it's important and they don't think it's beneficial. Now, if you do this whole internet marketing tree, I'm telling you this now, they are not going to last against you. And I'm going to show you a real example of this in a minute so you know that this is literally legit. Now, before I show you guys the solutions to the first two fundamental flaws I've just shown you, let me quickly go over the last fundamental flaw with the traditional way of doing dropshipping, which is your ads, having ad account bans, having your ads taken down, having your ad accounts banned. And this is because these platforms hate dropshippers. If they know that you're a dropshipper, they already have a biased hate towards you because they know what you bring to the table. They know that dropshippers bring copied content, ripped off products, illegal products. They know what you bring to the table, so they're already going to judge you based on that. So if you approach these ad platforms like Facebook, Google, TikTok with the traditional way of doing dropshipping, then they're going to make your life very, very hard, especially Facebook. And let me know if you've ever had ad account bans, random ad issues in the comment section below. And if that's the case, it's because you're having this issue. So that brings us to the moment that you're all going to want to know, which is what is the solution to these three fundamental flaws? And the answer to this is build a brand sooner than later. Now, what most dropshipping people do is they try and postpone building a brand as long as they can because they look at it as wasting too much time. They look at it as reinvesting money that they don't want to reinvest because they'd rather hang on to the money than reinvesting it. But by doing this, you're just going to damage yourself in a really bad way. Now, the whole point of the dropshipping business model is to get proof of concept, meaning that you need to find out if your product works and if people are happy with it. As soon as you've got that and you've got proof that it's making money, you should transition into the better way of doing dropshipping and not the traditional route. If you carry on doing the traditional route, you're going to kill your own dropshipping store. So what I'm going to be doing now with you guys is I'm going to be giving you 3 simple steps that you can follow to turn your traditional dropshipping store into an e-commerce dropshipping brand, and how you can beat your competitors from trying to kill your market share. Now, what I'm going to be doing with you guys is I'm going to be showing you 2 stores side by side, the traditional way of doing dropshipping, and this company have been trying to scale this way of doing dropshipping even though they know it works, but they just don't want to reinvest the money. And then I'm going to show you another store that went from dropshipping and has now converted it into a legit e-commerce brand to show you what the first store did wrong and what the second store's done right, so you can understand these small fundamental changes that you need to do. So as you guys can see on the screen, this is the first store that I want to show you, and these are the guys that have tried scaling the traditional way of doing dropshipping, but it's flopped on them by doing this, and they've just sabotaged their own business. So as you guys can see here, they are literally just selling your animals into a photo. So you basically take a photo of your animal and they convert it into a photo like a canvas, and you can see here you can buy all of the ones down here, and these are on AliExpress, guys. You can literally go on AliExpress and type in dog portrait and find all of these photos, by the way. So you can see all of these are the products that they're currently selling, and you can see the website actually doesn't look that bad. Now if we head over to their Trustpilot, we can see where things start to take a big fall. So you can see that their average is 3.6 star reviews based on 143 people. Now if we take a look at the reviews, you can see there's more 1-star reviews than there are 5-star reviews and 4-star reviews, and that is really concerning. Now if we go down, you can see all of these are the negative reviews. Now unfortunately these are all done in French because it's a France website, it's a French dropshipping website, but I just thought I'd show you this to show you that this is not how you do dropshipping to make multiple 7 figures and keep your customers happy. And the same thing again, they don't have any Facebook reviews or any Facebook testimonials because they've turned it off because they know what would happen. And just to show you guys that these guys are actually making money and it's a dropshipping store, I have found them trying to sell their store on Flipper again, and you can see it's a verified listing, meaning that all the numbers are accurate. So they're saying that they're making a monthly profit of $24,000 with the profit margins being 40%. 100%. Now, if we scroll down, we can see that the monetization methods is digital products and drop shipping. So they are literally telling you that they are doing drop shipping. So this just shows you guys that these guys are making money. They're making $24,000 a month. Even if they're only making half of that, they're making money, but they don't want to reinvest it into making the business more suitable long term. They're literally rubbing it in your face that they're still doing drop shipping. It doesn't say anything like self-fulfillment. It doesn't say anything about them having inventory. They are literally saying to you they're still doing drop shipping, and that's why they're getting so high profit margins. And that's not how you run a business long term, because you're going to either get your website taken down or you're going to lose customers and your business is going to crumble into thin air. But let me show you guys the other alternative way of scaling a dropshipping store to long-term success. So this is the other option of doing things, and this is the right way of doing things. So you guys can see here, it's the same niche, same principle. It's just you turning your dog photos into portraits and painting them. But this time, these guys have done it correctly. The website looks a lot nicer. You can see the photos are all organic. So these are their own photos. It's not copied from AliExpress. These are all their own content, which is important. The other thing is you can see that these are the products that you get. So these are not on AliExpress. These are unique products. And if we scroll down, they are selling a few AliExpress dropshipping products here. And I do believe that this website did start from the dropshipping business model by selling these alternative dropshipping products, but they've reinvested their profit into creating their own unique product, but it's in the same niche. It's literally the same thing, but they've created their own version of it so they can control the quality control. They can control a lot more. And if we go over to their Trustpilots, guess what? It's 4.4 stars. It's verified, and you can see people are happy with what they are selling. Now, you are going to get the odd testimonial being negative. That's with any business, but you can see a lot more green than you can see red. So this just shows you guys that this type of scaling a dropshipping store into an e-commerce brand is a lot better for the long term, and your customers are going to be happy. And just to show you their listing on Flipper, you can see that they're making around about $15,000 a month. Now, I do know that it's $10,000 less than the other side, but guess what? They can sell their company for a lot more money because it's got more value, because it's their own stock and it's their own design. So it makes the company more valuable, which is more important than the average profit margin, because you should always build a store in a way that if you do need to exit it and get liquidity, you can, and you're making more money. And if you were to sell your store, you're more likely to sell it like this than you are the other way, because buyers don't like buying dropshipping stores. They absolutely hate it. So I want to show you guys another example of your store presence and the design and the perception that you're given across. So this is a massaging gun e-commerce store. Now, I do believe that you can buy this exact same one from Alibaba and private label it. I don't know if they're currently making these themselves, but I do know it's a private label product. But you can see here they call themselves Hydro Gun, and you can see the website looks really, really nice. This is their custom content. This is their own content. It's not off AliExpress. It's not off Alibaba. You can see here they've got other alternative products that you can buy to increase the average order value. And again, you can buy these on AliExpress, but they private labeled them. They might have slightly changed them as well, which is really good. And you can see all of this imagery is their own. And you can see they've also been featured on Forbes, Vogue, and Tech Radar. And you can also see here what the community says about them. So they've got real testimonials of the product, not just some ones you can get from AliExpress. And then they go over all the articles that you can read about their product. So if we go back to the internet marketing tree, guess what they've got that most other dropshipping stores don't have? So what we call this is press presence, and this is extremely powerful, especially when you start getting an e-commerce brand. So as soon as you start private labeling your products, and I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do that in a minute, this is powerful. Now, if you've got competitors running for the same product, now let's be honest, the massaging gun's been around for ages. Loads of people have got these. You could probably get the same one and private label it. But what I'm trying to say to you is they've invested in PR. They might have paid for this PR, I don't know. But the power of the PR is if somebody was to go to 4 different websites, but then do some research. Now, like I was saying to you guys before, now let's say hypothetically that this person went onto 5 different massaging gun websites and they researched every single one of them to see which one has a better presence. So if we Google a Hydro Gun, guess what comes up? Tech Radar. Most people have heard of Tech Radar. If we go into the news section, they've been featured in 7 News, Wales Online, all of these other big press online companies. And let's say the competitors don't have anything. Let's say this person Googles those other competitors, but they can't find anything about them online. You're more likely to buy from this company because it's been in the press. And if we go back to the internet marketing tree, if you go to where it says public relations, this is where you need to invest your money once you become an e-commerce brand. You can see here, press release, articles, public relations. Now, most e-commerce brands, dropshipping stores will not do this because they don't see it as a beneficial, but it's a massive beneficial. So this is an example of how you can beat your competitors. And let's say people don't even want to Google your brand and see what you've been featured in. Even by just going to your website and seeing these big names, you're using these big names to build credibility for you, because most people already know these companies and trust them. But if they don't know you, that's how you leverage other trust into you. So that's what they've currently done. And by having them on this is powerful. Now, some companies can just pretend like they're in there, but it's not good. And when they find out, it causes more damage. And something else that you could do is you could even put in your ad creatives that we've been featured in Forbes, we've been featured in Tech Radar. That builds a lot more power than the alternatives that are not mentioning that. So that brings us on to the second fundamental change that you must make to be able to transition into the better way of doing dropshipping and e-commerce. And that is by getting yourself an agent that can do the legwork for you. So the agent that I'm currently using is called Unified Dropshipping. I'm not sponsored by them. I genuinely use these guys myself, and I'll be showing you the proof in a minute. And I want to quickly break down what a dropshipping agent is by going through their website so you guys understand the benefits of using a dropshipping agent. So you can see here sourcing and private agent and order fulfillment. So that means that they will find the product for you and source it based on which is the best supplier. So because when you dropship traditionally, you can't see the product in China because you can only see if you order it to your house, but then you're going to wait ages for it to come. But if you've got an agent that can do the sourcing for you, it's their job to actually find the best quality product on the market, which is the one that you're looking for. And if it's not good quality, they will tell you it's not best and feasible to do that. They're also able to tell you if the product is illegal, if it's trademarked, if it's patented. It's their job to find that out as well, to stop you from being sued if you sell a product that isn't legit. These guys can also create custom products for you, like private labeling, putting your logo on products. They can even create you and find you warehouses and manufacturers that can make you a brand new product of that product. So they can make you a better version of the product that you use to dropship. That way, no one can compete with you. Imagine you having your own custom product. No one can compete with you because it's your product, and they can do that. It says here, automated profitable products updated consistently. So that's on about how they manage the back end. One-stop dropshipping service provider. So you can use them with no minimum order quantity, but I'd recommend that you do that to get the best benefits. Fast delivery within multiple shipping methods, 7 to 15 days globally. One-on-one service, 24-hour response customer service. And you guys can see here the delivery times, which is 5 to 12 days, 3 to 8 days, depending on the country. And this is a lot faster than what you're going to get based on AliExpress and any alternative. So this is really, really good. And this is going to stop those customer complaints from saying that they've not received their product in 8 weeks. So you can see here, what services do they provide? One-on-one VIP service, quality check-in, fulfillment, branding and customization, product sourcing, and best after sale service. This is what the traditional way of dropshipping is flawed with, all of these points. And this is how you currently fix it. Then they've got some videos going over how they can do custom packaging and brand logo and gift cards. And just to prove to you guys that I actually use Unified Dropshipping for one of my old dropshipping stores that I've converted into an e-commerce brand, you guys can see here, I'm in my Unified Dropshipping dashboard, and you guys can see if I go under orders, you can see all of these orders right here. So if I scroll down, you can see that there's 295 pages worth of orders. And if you look on here, there's around about 10 orders per page. So if you do 10 times 295, that's quite a lot of orders that we've processed with Unified Dropshipping. And we've customized a dropshipping product and turned it into a custom label brand. And we've actually made our own products with Unified Dropshipping. So that's what we've currently done with them. And the third fundamental change that you need to make to kill your competitors and build a long-term e-commerce brand is doing a content massacre. So I call it a content massacre. And what this basically means is stop using content from AliExpress, stop using your competitors' content and rechanging it, make your own content and go wild with it. Get loads and loads and loads and loads of content. Now, if I'm going to show you guys an ad library of that hydro gun, you can see they've got 210 ads being ran with unique ads being ran. So that's insane. That means 210 variants of content they're running for their ads. And the great thing about this is they're not going to get ad account bans. They're not going to get any issues because it's a private label product. It's unique content and nothing's going to get flagged. It's not going to get flagged because there's nothing to flag for. So you guys can see here, all of this content they're running, look, they're using it based on old people. They're using it based on knee surgery. They've got all of these UGC videos. They've got all of these POV testimonials. Look at all of these ads, and every video, every image is different, guys. Look at this. This is crazy. Now, if you were to try and find another massaging gun competitor and go on their ad library, I can promise you this now, they are not going to have 210 ads running that are unique. And they're also running ads in different countries and using different languages. That's another thing that most dropshippers don't do. They stick in the Western countries and they don't go outside and try and experiment in new regions, in new countries, and that stops you from seeing success. And you've got to think to yourself very clearly here, if somebody is running 210 ads with unique ads being ran, meaning the videos, the images, compared to another person that's running 10 or 20, who's gonna win? All of these platforms love content. The more content you give them, the more they're gonna reward you because they're a content platform. Without content, they can't work. They don't work. They don't make money. It's all content related. So the more you give them, the better, especially if it's unique content. So I hope you guys have understood what I've just gone over with you and the 3 fundamental flaws with the traditional way of doing dropshipping, and then how you should transition into the better way of being a dropshipper and an e-commerce business. And you should now be able to identify the 3 transitions that you must make. And I want to make this very, very clear to you guys. There is nothing wrong with dropshipping. I still do it, but I only do it to test products out and to get validation. Once I've done that, and once I'm getting around about 20 to 30 orders a week for 2 weeks, I then transition myself into being an e-commerce brand or a dropshipping brand. I do not stick to the fundamentally flawed way of doing dropshipping. You cannot scale that business model because it is proven not to work. If you stick to using AliExpress and scale, you will kill your own business quicker than you can think. I need to get this into your head. You don't need to be making lots of money. You don't need to be making loads of orders to transition into the better way of doing dropshipping. As soon as you've got 10 orders, you can start to transition. It's just how confident you are in your product. It's never been easier to transition into being an e-commerce brand or dropshipping brand than it is today. A lot of agents don't require minimum order quantity, and if they do, it's extremely low. Back when I started, it was really, really hard. You had to order 1,000 to 500 units. So please, for anyone that's watching this, if you have got a dropshipping store and you're scaling it the traditional way, please do yourself a favor and transition to the better way of doing it. And if you're thinking about starting a dropshipping store, or you have, plan to switch to the better way of doing dropshipping sooner than later to make sure that you can make long-term money and you can have a long-term business. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. I hope you've learned something, and I hope it's opened your eyes to the bigger picture. And I hope you guys take all the recommendations that I've given you in today's video, and make sure you smash that like button to show your support for this video.